Hi friends. Hi Avon Preschool. This is Miss Carol. We're going to do a little science lesson today, all about habitats. And I think many of you might remember that we were working on habitats last time we were together. Each room was doing their own habitat. So I know the woodland room was learning about forests and woodlands. The tropical room was learning about tropical rainforest. And our rainforest room, we were learning about savannas and jungles. And the ocean room was learning about oceans. So you might see a few things in this book, the ABCs of habitats, that you're going to like. All right, let's get started. A is for animals adapt. Animals live all over the earth. There are animals living in very hot places and very cold places. The natural places where plants and animals live are called habitats. Animals adapt or change or become suited to the habitats in which they live. Not all animals can live in every kind of habitat. They each have their own. Backyard habitats would be in your backyard or someone else's backyard. You might even see some of these kinds of animals living around you or near you. And you might see bears this time of year as well. Some of their names start with letter B. Birds, butterflies, bees, and bugs of all kinds live in backyards. Ladybird beetles also live in backyards. So we see a blue jay, a squirrel, some chipmunks, a rabbit, and a bear. C is for colorful coral reefs. Coral reefs are warm, shallow ocean habitats that contain colorful corals. Corals are made of tiny animals called coral polyps. Many kinds of fish and other animals live in coral reefs. You see we have sea turtles, dolphins, and these are coral polyps. D is for dry deserts. An area in the dry desert where plants grow, like these palms, is called an oasis. There is water below the ground. These are camels. I wonder if you've ever seen a camel at a zoo or somewhere else. E is for endangered. There are endangered animals in almost every habitat. Endangered animals are in danger of disappearing from Earth forever, like some rhinos are endangered. They are losing their habitats to people. These animals up here are Asian rhinos. There are fewer than 2,500 of them left in the whole world. Forest habitats. Some of you might have learned about the forest. And these are the types of forests that we have around here. Those are called coniferous forests. Conifers grow in these forests. Conifers are trees with cones. You might have seen some cones like these. And these are a family of owls. Sorry about that. That was our clock. Grasslands. G is for grasslands. They are huge areas where grasses and few trees grow. Grasslands grow all over the world. In America, grasslands are called plains or prairies. In South America, they're called pampas. This is a guanaco. He lives in South America, in the pampas. Some grasslands are also in Africa, and those are called savannas. Boys and girls in Miss Stephanie's room and my room might recognize the word savanna. And we've learned about elephants, zebras, and giraffes. Giraffes start with G, like grasslands. This is a cheetah. Human habitats. Human beings are people, you and I. People live in their homes. Their homes are in human habitats, such as cities, towns, and villages. Villages are small towns. Cities, towns, and villages can be found in deserts and near grasslands. Human habitats are also near forests, wetlands, and oceans. People live almost everywhere. I is for icy habitats. Polar bears live in the Arctic. The Arctic is a cold habitat near the North Pole, at the top of the world. Ice and snow cover much of the Arctic. In summer, plants grow on that land, and that is called the tundra. Antarctica is another cold habitat. It also has a lot of ice and snow. Antarctica is near the South Pole at the bottom of the world. The penguins, right here, they live in Antarctica. J is for jungles. Jungles are like rainforests. Jungles have many trees, bushes, and other plants. The plants grow closely together. Jungles are found in Southeast Asia and in Africa. In jungles, there is a rainy season. During the rainy season, heavy rainfall soaks the rainforest, or the jungles. The rain helps many plants to grow. The tiger and orangutan below both live in a jungle. The jungle is on an island called Sumatra in Southeast Asia. K is for kelp forests. These kind of forests do not grow on land. They grow under the ocean in shallow areas. Kelp is not a plant. It is the largest type of algae. Algae is like a plant, but it has no roots, stems, or leaves. Seaweed is algae, and kelp is the largest type of seaweed. Kelp can grow as tall as 160 feet. Sea otters wrap themselves in kelp before going to sleep so they will not drift away, so they'll stay safe. L is for lakes and land. Lakes are big bodies of water with land around them. Lakes can be large, but they are not as large as oceans. The water in lakes is fresh water. Fresh water is not salty like the water in oceans. Many kinds of fish live in lakes. Birds such as swans find food in lakes, and moose find grasses and other plants to eat on the shores of lakes. Maybe you've seen a moose. I have. Mountain habitats is where we live. Mountains are tall, steep areas of land. Some mountains are covered with grasses, other mountains are rocky, like we live in the Rocky Mountains. The weather is cold at the tops of the high mountains. Forests grow at the bottom of most mountains. Some forests grow on mountains as well. Mountain gorillas live in cool, misty forests that are high up in the mountains. These mountains are in the central part of Africa. National parks. N is for national parks. They are huge, safe habitats for wildlife. People are not allowed to hunt or build in these parks. National parks are run by the governments of countries. Yellowstone National Park was the very first national park in the world. It is home to animals such as wolves, grizzly bears, elk, and bison. Today, there are national parks in many countries all over the world. We have quite a few national parks here in Colorado. Ocean habitats. O is for oceans. Oceans are large water habitats. They are made of salt water. There are warm oceans and cold oceans. Cold oceans are covered with ice and snow. Oceans are full of wonderful animals. Which ocean animals start with O? Well, there's two of them here. This is an orca, and this is an octopus. This orca is also called a killer whale. The orca in the picture above is breaching. That means leaping high above the water. P is for pond life. A pond is a small lake with fresh water. Many animals live in ponds. Birds and many other animals find food in ponds, and frogs lay eggs called spawn in ponds. The eggs hatch into many tadpoles. The tadpoles soon become frogs. Maybe you've seen some frogs in the summertime and late spring. So this is frog spawn. That is a tadpole, and there's a full-grown adult frog. And these kind of fish are called red koi. R is for rainy rainforests. Habitats get different amounts of rain. Rainforests get a lot of rain all year. Many plants grow in rainforests because there's plenty of water. Rainforests also have many kinds of animals. Some are tiny, such as butterflies and ants. Others are large, like the cougar shown below. Rainforests that are hot all year are called tropical rainforests. Tropical rainforests get rain nearly every day. Some of you may recognize the rainforest from learning about it in Miss Gabby and Miss Tatiana's room. Rainforests that are cool and wet are called temperate rainforests. This is another kind of rainforest where there's elk that live there. This is a three-toed sloth. Some of you might remember it takes days and days for a three-toed sloth to move down his tree. And this is a type of tree frog. And tree frogs are poisonous. S is for seashores. Seashores are places where oceans meet land. Some seashores are rocky, others are sandy. Each day the water falls at low tide and rises at high tide. At high tide, many sea animals are washed up on the shore. At low tide, the water moves away from the shore. Some water is trapped between the rocks, forming tide pools. Animals such as sea stars, sea urchins, crabs, shrimp, and mollusks are also trapped in the tide pools. And these are all the different kinds of animals that you can find, and many more at the seashore. T is for treeless tundra. Tundras are cold deserts. These habitats are in cold, windy places. Only certain kinds of plants can grow in tundras because much of the ground is frozen. Ground that stays frozen all year is called permafrost. And you might recognize it. This is a deer. Deer live on the tundra. And these are many, many, many colorful plants. There are many colorful plants there on the tundra. But they all live very low to the ground. I wonder if you can figure out why. U is for underground homes. Some animals live in underground habitats. Living under the ground keeps these animals safe from predators. Boys and girls, I don't know if you remember this or not, but when we talked about food chains, there were predators at the very top of the food chain. Maybe some of you in my room remember the story of the lion and the zebra. Who was the predator in that story? Do you think it was the zebra? Point to your brain. If you said, no, it is the lion, I want you to kiss your brain for me. That was very, very good. Groundhogs, armadillos, prairie dogs, and earthworms live under the ground, but all these animals spend time above ground too. V is for vanishing habitats. Vanishing means disappearing. There are many areas of the whole world that are disappearing because people are cutting them down or burning them to build farms or other places for humans to live. The animals that lived in these forests have lost their homes. Without the homes, many of these animals might die. W is for wetland habitats. Wetlands are areas of land that are covered with water for at least part of the year. Some animals that live in wetlands are alligators and many kinds of birds. They visit the wetlands to rest and find food. There's so many plants there too. I've been to the wetlands. The wetland here in this picture is part of the Everglades in Florida. Explore. The Earth is an extremely beautiful planet. It is extra special with places to explore. It's full of exciting animals, exotic plants. So you can read and look at pictures about Earth and nature and all the animals living on it. And you can always visit your local zoo when we can go and visit zoos again. But for now, you can also visit zoos online. And I bet you your mom and dad can help you with that. And also you at the zoo. So the word Z, zoo. Some zoos look like the natural habitats of animals. Animals have trees to climb and room to roam around. These zoos often help animals by teaching people about them. Find out what the zoo near you does to help animals. So I bet you if you can get some help looking up the Denver Zoo online, you will be able to see many of the animals there at that zoo. All right, so let's talk a little bit about what we have here. And here are some pictures, not photos, but some pictures of some habitats. So let's see if you recognize them. This one is the forest. And here we have owls and squirrels and other types of birds. The savanna, where we have elephants and tigers and lions and zebras. And we have the ocean. We have the ocean, where we have sea turtles and squid and shark and octopus. And finally, the rainforest, where we have butterflies, chameleons. Remember, these are the kind of lizards that change color, depending on what they're sitting on. We have the red-eyed tree frog, and we've got our friend the sloth. All right, so you guys now have a job to do. So when you're at home, and after you're done watching this video, I want you to get a piece of paper, and I'll show you. I want you to get a piece of paper and see if you can tear it or cut it, if you have scissors, into 4 different parts. So let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4. And you're going to play a little game with this. So I want you to draw 4 different habitats that you know about. And you can always rewatch this video or stop this video in certain places, and you can see about all the different habitats that we learned about in our book, and maybe you remember some of the things about the habitats you've learned about. So what I've gone ahead and done is I've drawn a picture. I just used some markers, but you can use crayons or pencils or colored pencils, whatever you have at home to draw with. And I've just drawn some different pictures. So let's see, let's look at this one here. What do you think this one might be? I see some trees and a pond or a lake. You think it looks a lot like this one? The forest? Yeah, you are right, that is a forest. What's this one? There's some water and some plants underneath the water. Oh, I see a fish. What do you think? Ocean? If you said ocean, kiss your brain. That's right, it is an ocean. All right, here's a tree with some sand. What do you think? We still haven't looked at the rainforest or the savanna, so which do you think it is? You're right if you said the savanna. You are right. That's the savanna. And this one, there's a lot of plants There's a river running through it. I think it might be the rainforest. So if you said rainforest, you are right. Go ahead and give yourself a kiss on the brain again. Very good. You guys did great. So what you're going to do now is with your 4 pictures, you're going to hand them to mom or dad or whoever's there as your helper with you. And you're going to play a little game. So they're going to turn them over so you can't see what the picture is that they're looking at. And they're going to hold up one picture at a time, and they're going to look at it, and they're going to describe what they see. They're going to tell you what they see on the picture. And you, my friend, have to guess what the picture is about. What habitat? So if I was to say a river and a lot of green plants, that's right, you might say rainforest, okay? And then they're going to describe each picture to you, and then they're going to hold it up, and you're going to check to see if you're right on each one. And then it'll be your helper's turn. It'll be mom or dad or whoever's helping you. Then they will guess when you tell them what you have in the picture. Remember, don't show them until after they're done, and then they can check their work and make sure that they are correct in what they guessed. Okay? So there's 2 questions I want you to ask yourself after you turn off this video. And I want to see if you know the answer. One is, what is a habitat? And you can use your own words when you're telling your family what that is. And also see if you can use the word endangered. Do you remember the word endangered? The word endangered means in danger of disappearing. There won't be any more once they're gone. Okay? So that's it for today. Remember what we learned about today. We learned about the ABCs of habitats. Okay, my friends, until next time, stay safe, stay healthy. We love you. We miss you at Avon Preschool, and we really hope to see you again real soon. Okay? Bye. Till next time.